In a heartfelt update, Bear Brown, Amy Brown's son, recently disclosed the details of his mother's chronic medical condition, warming the hearts of fans everywhere.
Hey guys, I wanted to do a update to let y'all guys know what is going on with mom. So as y'all guys know, they have been trying to take the breathing tube out.
A situation that has understandably frightened a lot of Alaskan bush people. The Brown family, who are renowned for their strong bond and tenacity over the years, is now again coping with a challenging medical condition. The recent events, the family's emotional struggles, and a hopeful sign that hope might be returning after a horrific tragedy are all thoroughly examined in this update. The revelation went viral after Bear Brown shared distressing details about his mother, Amy Brown, on social media. As many Alaskan bush people watchers know, Amy has experienced a number of health problems after being diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer in 2017. With such a diagnosis, the prognosis was terrible. A 3% chance of life, but Amy's courageous battle against the disease, which involved harsh chemotherapy and radiation, ended in an unanticipated remission that inspired many admirers. However, new events have forced the family to deal with Amy's ongoing health crisis at yet another stage. On February 11, 2025, Amy had a sudden and terrifying health crisis. According to Bear, the first indications of the disaster were Amy's excruciating chest pain and upsetting breathing problems. When the symptoms quickly deteriorated and became an emergency, the family took immediate action. Given that they live in Alaska, where access to medical treatment may occasionally be limited, the family's critical decision to airlift Amy to a hospital in Washington emphasizes how urgent the situation is. In a state-of-the-art clinic far from their home, doctors immediately began working to stabilize her condition. As soon as Amy arrived at the hospital, medical staff assessed her health. Her breathing had gotten so terrible that they decided she needed to be intubated immediately, which means a breathing tube was inserted to help her maintain proper oxygen levels. This decision was not taken lightly and marked the beginning of a high-stakes battle against a rapidly unfolding medical disaster. Doctors carefully stabilized Amy by putting her under a lot of medicine and placing her in a medically managed coma to ensure she would be pain-free and immobile throughout critical surgeries. This was clearly a difficult time for Bear and the rest of the family. Social media updates displayed unfiltered emotion, a family engulfed in terror and uncertainty. Bear's writings not only demonstrated the gravity of the issue, but also the stress that even the strongest families go through in times of crisis. His personal story struck a chord with those who had followed the Browns through their many struggles over the years. Support from Alaskan bush people supporters flooded in as the tragedy quickly became widely known. Through his candid writings on social media, Bear described his mental suffering and exposed his own vulnerability during these times. His words perfectly encapsulated the family's overwhelming sense of helplessness, fear, and worry as they watched their beloved matriarch fight for her life. For everyone who has ever appreciated Amy's perseverance, the sudden reappearance of such a severe situation was startling and a wake-up call. For the family and her fans alike, her moral fortitude had always been a beacon of hope. Raven, Bear's wife, also joined in on social media, urging people to keep Amy in mind and offer prayers. Her heartfelt remarks served as a reminder of the resilience of community during difficult times. Messages of love, hope, and encouragement flooded the internet as followers, many of whom had been touched by Amy's previous hardships, united to support the family. As seen by the steady stream of supportive letters from a wide network of well-wishers, the Brown family, who were known for their closeness and concern for one another, held strong throughout the storm. After what must have seemed like an eternity of anxiety and uncertainty, a ray of hope appeared on February 13, 2025. In a much-needed consolation, Bear provided supporters who had been anxiously anticipating news of his mother's condition with a positive update. Although initially disheartening, the update detailed a turbulent medical odyssey that ultimately led to a positive breakthrough in Amy's recovery. The sequence of events was dramatic and emotionally charged. The doctors tried unsuccessfully to remove Amy's breathing tube on February 12, which was a crucial step in her recovery. It was a depressing setback because it showed how precarious her circumstances were. Unfazed by the first setbacks, however, the medical team tried again the following day. The successful removal of the breathing tube on February 13 marked a significant milestone in Amy's recuperation. She also emerged from her medically induced coma in a dramatic emotional turn of events, demonstrating that her body was now ready to protect itself. Bear described it as an overwhelming yet joyous moment when Amy was able to speak to her children on the phone. This first meeting was not just a technical improvement in her condition, but it was also a very symbolic event for the family, showing that the battle had taken a hopeful turn, even though it was far from over. Bear's statement was filled with gratitude, acknowledging the crucial part that the family's affection and the fans' unwavering support had played in boosting Amy's morale throughout one of the most difficult periods of her life. To fully understand the emotional impact of the current events, it is essential to understand Amy Brown's medical past, which is marked by an incredible fight against unimaginable odds. In 2017, Amy received a diagnosis of stage 3 lung cancer, a diagnosis with only a 3% chance of survival and a bleak outlook. The news crushed her and the rest of the Brown family, who had always relied on her resilience as their rock. Amy had a grueling round of intense chemotherapy and radiation, yet she battled valiantly against all obstacles. Although her battle was challenging and full of unknowns, she emerged from it in remission, demonstrating her unwavering will. The events of 2017 caused significant life changes for the family. They made the calculated decision to relocate from Alaska to Washington, since they recognized the value of having access to first-rate medical care. This choice was challenging in and of itself, but it was driven by a clear objective: to provide Amy the best care possible and to ensure that she had every opportunity to be healthy. Even after her cancer treatment was successful, Amy's health problems continued, and her medical history was made more complex by the recent pneumonia diagnosis. Each one of these challenges has served as a devastating reminder of life's fragility, as well as Amy's unwavering resilience in the face of adversity. Even though the past several days have been some of the most trying in recent memory, there is cautious optimism in the air as Amy enters the recuperation phase. The road ahead is undoubtedly unexpected because, despite the scars from her most recent health scare and earlier challenges, the spirit that has carried her through her darkest moments continues to shine brilliantly. Every member of the family who are still together is crucial to her recovery. Bertie Brown, Amy's devoted daughter, has been a rock at the hospital, providing comfort, attention, and unwavering emotional support. Bear is managing the situation's emotional toll with the resilience of someone who has experienced comparable adversity in the past. He updates his admirers on his mother's development, as demonstrated by the constant stream of supportive messages from Alaskan Bush People supporters. Amy's perseverance is not only a source of pride for the family, but also an inspiration to all who have followed her incredible journey. The Browns are embracing cautious optimism despite these challenges. Hope for the future is provided by Amy's victory over life-threatening illnesses and her ability to overcome seemingly insurmountable odds in the past, defying medical predictions. The combined prayers, kind words, and positive energy that fans and well-wishers continue to send in show how much of an impact Amy has had on so many lives. As she embarks on this new phase of her recovery, the community around her is more determined than ever to help her. Amy Brown's most recent health issue has undoubtedly been a challenging phase in a protracted struggle, but it also serves as a reminder of the tenacity of community, family, and optimism. In addition to showcasing Amy's continuously remarkable resilience, Bear Brown's updates have provided insight into the family's emotional and physical struggles. From the terrible moments of an unexpected medical emergency to the touching news of her waking from a medically induced coma, every detail tells a tale of perseverance and survival. As she continues on her road to recovery, Amy's story offers a reassuring reminder that even in the most trying situations, there is hope in the support of a loving community and family relationships. In support of a woman who has triumphed over hardship and become a symbol of bravery, inspiring innumerable others to keep going in the face of adversity, Alaskan Bush People supporters have come together once again. One thing is clear, despite the fact that there are still a lot of unknowns in the days to come. Amy Brown's courage and perseverance will always light the way for her family, her supporters, and anybody else who finds inspiration in her story.